Hello, my name is Faith Long. I am the Wellness Coordinator at the Kosciuszko Community YMCA. I'm also a certified personal trainer and a nutrition specialist. So today I have a new trainer tip for your Tuesday, and it's going to be geared towards men a little bit more specifically for today, but a lot of these tips and information, women can certainly apply that to themselves as well. So I just have 4 tips that can help out some men who are trying to start a healthier diet or maybe a lifestyle. So hopefully this is helpful information, just because there is so much clutter and misinformation all over the web and just everywhere. So it can be a little bit difficult and discouraging maybe to figure out what to do. And sometimes it can be overwhelming as well, as there can be so much information. So hopefully these 4 tips are simple enough and easy enough to follow. So my first tip would be to make sure that you're getting plenty of protein. So you do not want to skip out on your protein, because it is so important and it plays a huge role, especially for men who just naturally have a higher lean muscle mass percentage than women. So because they have a greater degree of muscle mass, it needs to be supported properly in their diets by making sure that they're consuming plenty of protein. So again, this is also super important if you are trying to build muscle mass specifically. So because of that extra muscle mass that men carry compared to women, it's due to elevated levels of testosterone circulating in the male body. So in order to maintain and build extra muscle mass, it requires fuel from protein, dietary protein. So this might be, okay, like I know I need protein, but like how much protein do I need? So if that seems to be the biggest question, so answering that question, specifically if you are a weightlifter, a power lifter, or any type of person that does some sort of resistance training, whether that's dumbbells, bands, bodyweight exercises, or machines, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics recommends a daily protein intake of between 1.4 to 1.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight to build muscle mass. So that would be approximately 0.64 to 0.82 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So if you do not have a scale at home, a food scale that can help you kind of measure out those grams, that's okay. You don't need to go get one, although they are generally pretty inexpensive to buy at any sort of grocery store. However, if you do not want to do that, or you don't have one currently and you want to get started right away, you can use your hand as a guide for how much protein you should be having when it comes to putting it on your actual plate. So a standard 3-ounce or 85 grams serving of meat or fish should fit into the palm of your hand. And then if you are more plant-based, a half cup or 100 grams of plant-based protein, such as beans or legumes, is about the size of your fist. And then if you like peanut butter as much as I do, or any other nut butters, 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of protein-packed nut butters is about the size of your thumb.
Attention all YMCA members.
If you like peanut butter as much as I do, or any other type of protein-packed nut butter, 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of protein is about the size of your thumb. So tip number 2 is to make sure that you are getting plenty of carbohydrates. Again, we don't want to be skipping out on carbohydrates, because honestly, proteins and carbohydrates kind of work hand in hand with each other. So they're super vital, super important to be getting both of those. So getting a proper amount of carbs and protein to promote protein synthesis. So if you want to add lean muscle mass, you need to have healthy levels of the two. So the reason for that, the reason these two are so important and that they go hand in hand is because carbohydrates trigger the release of insulin, which allows for both glucose and amino acids, are the building blocks of protein, to be taken up by the muscle cells. So it's really good to get an adequate amount of carbohydrates after a workout in your post-workout meal because of this effect. So the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition, they suggest combining a fast-acting carbohydrate with a protein after a vigorous workout because this will be effective in increasing muscle protein synthesis. So what that would look like is consuming roughly a 3-to-1 protein to carbohydrate ratio with approximately 30 to 40 grams of carbs. So making sure that you're not having your carbs or skipping out on carbs, you want to definitely include those because they play a huge role in protein synthesis. Tip number 3 is to make sure that you are getting plenty of omega-3 fatty acids into your diet. So there are just numerous benefits to consuming omega-3s. They help with cardiovascular and brain health and joint health as well. There's also been studies that have shown that it helps with reducing inflammation, and inflammation occurs when people work out. So by consuming omega-3s, it's going to help play that anti-inflammatory role which in turn will make post-exercise inflammation and go down quicker, which will help speed the recovery after workouts. So making sure you're getting plenty of those omega-3s into your diet as well. And then my fourth and final tip for men is to follow the Mediterranean diet. So this diet is good for everyone, including women. But the reason this diet is so great is because it combines all 3 macronutrients, carbs, fats, proteins, in just an excellent powerhouse type of way. So it has been heavily and probably one of the highest researched dietary plans, and there's just been numerous benefits to this diet. One of the things is that if someone is primarily plant-based, this Mediterranean diet really emphasizes things like vegetables and fruits, whole grains, legumes, healthy fats and oils, nuts and seeds, and then it has a limited intake of red meat, butter, and added sugars. So yeah, this is one of the best diets out there for everyone to look at. But yeah, it's going to be great for men as well for anyone to look a little bit deeper into that. So anyway, hopefully these 4 tips were helpful and beneficial. And thank you so much for tuning in and following along with us here at the Y. We've loved being open and seeing some of your faces back here, but keep looking for our virtual content as well.